In a major step toward tackling climate change and reducing greenhouse gas emissions, environmental experts are setting sight on decarbonizing the transport sector. This initiative aims to cut down the country's carbon footprint while fostering sustainable economic growth. News Central's correspondent Bettina Nwelih has the details.
The transport sector in Nigeria has long been one of the largest contributors to carbon emissions in the country. With over 20 million vehicles on the road, the environmental impact has become a significant concern for both the government and climate advocates. To address decarbonization in the transport sector, experts at a side event at the Nigerian Pavilion in COP29 say that a switch from fuels to CNG to electric vehicles, EVs, would yield improvements to public transportation systems.
Consumption of the fuel is the major cause of the climate change in the world. So the world now says, stop using fuel. Let's go on renewable energy. Let's think of alternatives so that you and me can breathe. Those are brothers and sisters from Niger Delta and virtually everywhere who don't have good air to inhale. The air is polluted, and no one will come to do the amendments for us. It's we that are supposed to do it, and the time is now.
While this initiative has received praise from environmental groups, some challenges remain. The high cost of electric vehicles and the lack of widespread charging infrastructure are key hurdles that will need to be addressed. Experts also highlight the need for substantial investments in renewable energy sources to ensure that the electricity used to charge EVs is clean and sustainable.
If Nigeria puts its resources together, both government and private, we can actually leapfrog technology. We can be the powerhouse of Africa in terms of e-mobility. If you look at the numbers today, it's quite alarming. Over 20 million cars in Nigeria polluting every day. We provide 40% of the emissions, the pollutions in West Africa, and about 25% in Africa as a whole. And if you look at it, for example, the largest polluting sector is the transportation sector, and we're 200 million people. In 30 years, by 2050, we are projected to be, under less than 30 years, we're projected to be about 500 million people. So imagine the number of cars. Therefore, Nigeria must, at this stage, begin to look at alternatives. And the best alternative is electric vehicles. You can export it, and the way the technology is for electric vehicles, you can convert it into cars, you can convert it into drones, planes, ships, boats, so many things. Anything that moves, it can be electric.
Nigeria's ambitious efforts to decarbonize its transport sector will require collaboration between government, industry, and citizens. As the country navigates this green transition, the hope is that it will not only help reduce emissions, but also set an example for other nations in Africa and beyond. In Azerbaijan, for News Central, I am Bettina Nwelih.